something to mention here. If you look at their Better Business Bureau, Ecomm Partnerships LLC, Donny Doquisa, Irwin Soto, the two clowns were all talking about pretty much the basis of this uh, playlist series. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to just share my view and what I'm seeing here with the Better Business Bureau reports. Now I know there's a number of them en route to be posted because the complaints are piling in. And if the FTC is listening, this is just more evidence of ongoing fraud and similar experiences. And it's just not a one-off with people who invested money with Ecomm Partnerships. So what I did is I had ChatGPT. I have the really good version. So I had it basically analyze the complaints, looking for themes, looking for patterns, looking for how this stuff mirrors my own case, because that's really what I want to point out here. And then you guys can be the judge if it actually mirrors your own case. Okay. So what I did, there's 5 of them here. I know there's at least 3 or 4 more in the queue. But how this stupid Better Business Bureau works, and it is mainly, I want to be very clear on that too. Better Business Bureau is a it's not technically a pay for play site, but basically um, companies pay a fee to get their name listed on the Better Business Bureau, and the Better Business Bureau supposedly doesn't redact any negative reviews. They actually take the complaints, and it's an open forum for the company to respond to charges against them, complaints against them, accusations, so and so. But Ecomm Partnership actually paid money to the Better Business Bureau. They are a consumer business, just like anything. They're a for-profit. So just beware, just like Trustpilot is and all those things. Ecomm Partnership paid money to the Better Business Bureau to get their profile listed. They don't just appear. Businesses that are out there just don't appear on the Better Business Bureau. They have to pay, and they have to open up an account and a profile. So I just want to let that be known, just so you know. Okay, so what I did is I had ChatGPT scan this, and what it uncovered, as you can see, there's a lot of new ones coming in. And this one, whoever that was, just on the 14th, I know, like I said, there's more en route. Mine is basically still pending. And I asked Better Business Bureau, this is going on for a month and a half. What's the deal here? They have to give them apparently time to respond, meaning Ecomm Partnerships. And obviously, I think they've given up responding because they're going to have a lot of responses coming in. They're going to have a lot of court documents, court cases to reply to. They're going to have a lot on their hands, especially dealing with me. So you guys can go see that. Just go in the Better Business Bureau, type in Ecomm Partnerships LLC, and read the complaints. Now, the reviews are different. I want to show you the reviews. The reviews are different. Now, here's what goes on. I already contacted Better Business Bureau about this. When you actually submit a review and a complaint, and I encourage you to do both, apparently they take the complaints first, and then they basically leave your reviews secondary, from what I'm being told, or they're just going to just not post your review. So you can't have reviews and complaints pending together. So they take the complaints as priority over the reviews. So whatever that's worth. So anyway, there's a few new ones getting dropped here, and you can see they're all negative. Just take your time and read them over. And what I've seen, the theme is a lot of these positive reviews. As you can see, the negative reviews go into detail. The positive reviews, and these where I'm calling it out. These are fake. Sergio, fake. And they're right back to back. 3.4, 3.6, 3.21. These are positive reviews right next to each other. So, when you have those reviews really on the same day, here's one, same day, and his name's Azam R. These are fake. If you read through it, you can gather how fake these are. They're cookie cutter. These are easily bought and paid for. So I would ignore all these positive reviews because to me, I know they're fake. Okay. And then yeah, like when somebody starts out this JA, and I'm just telling you, once I've been blessed to collaborate with Ecomm Partnerships teams, They are great for building passive income through e-commerce. The people are very professional, friendly. Yeah, bullshit they are. That is a fake review, and I'm calling it out. So you'll see that similar shit on Google and all the other platforms where they're actually reviewed. You can easily fake reviews. You can easily bypass the AI algorithm to get these passed. So it's very easy to spot fake reviews. So these are just ridiculous. Look at this. Like here, when somebody says uh, my ROI has been exponential, but they don't go into detail. Bullshit. That is it is. I can guarantee you that ROI has not been exponential. All right. I just can't stop laughing at this. Irwin, Donnie, these are paid. We all know it. So discard reviews like Lindsay, discard Jaggy. Yeah, Irwin, Donnie are great to work with. No, they're not. Ask any one of the new people that I've talked to. Ask the reviews that are coming in now currently. See, 2023. So anyway, so going back to the complaints, what I prepared for, I had ChatGPT take apart the complaints in detail, and I just want to real quickly go over a few things that are isolated here and stand out to me that mirror my own um, situation. So, what it discovered from all the reviews, I mean, because this is a lot of nonsense to read through. Like, and the business response, Ecomm response to the initial complaint. Here's the initial complaint. That wasn't really much, but they went out of their way to go into this nonsense. And you can read it. And here's another initial complaint. And then Donnie, it's really Irwin's responding to this. This is Irwin's, and he's using ChatGPT. And you can read all this nonsense. So I'm like, all right, here's another ridiculous complaint. Kind of hard to read. But anyway, so that's what I wanted to do. I wanted ChatGPT to scour that. So first thing, failed wholesale private label products. The theme is here. Customers report that products never made it to Amazon and were immediately blocked and gated. That mirrors me. That's what happened to me. One product in particular were the Cadigan water filters, which I went over. See that video? I went over my whole wholesale disaster. I went over my whole private label disaster. Okay. And here it is. Some say the inventory was supposedly purchased from suppliers but never shipped or was unsellable. And they're, same shit. And this matches mine. The water filters, the sprayers, the Tim Hortons coffee pods. I already went over that in that video. So that right there, what they're saying mirrors me. Okay. So they basically, what it took away from that, uh, Ecomm Partnerships, bad, they basically select bad or unvetted suppliers. This is key because they actively market themselves. You can see it on their website. You can see it, what Donnie pitched, what Irwin pitched. We have a long track record of vetted suppliers, meaning they're professionals, meaning they're seasoned pros at this. In reality, it's that complete opposite. It's the Wild West. They just find people and they take a chance with ordering products from them. And they could be fraudulent. They could be, bad apples. They could basically be thieves. And then you get the excuse, oh, we didn't know. And, unfortunately, this is just how business works. And, you know, we can't control it, and let's just move forward. That's their typical response. So how many of you gotten responses like that? How many of you ordered bad, you can see they're bad products from unvetted suppliers, and it's fraudulent because they claim they have a long client list of positive vetted wholesale suppliers here in the United States. That's where the wholesale suppliers are located, not overseas, because there wouldn't be any margins if you order it from China or whatever, because that's just primarily where the private label products are ordered. So there it is. It pretty much gathers they're left with phantom products with no return on their investment. Hey, that mirrors what happens to me. And my review isn't even in there. My complaint isn't even active yet. This is just what other people are saying. So you guys be the judge. So that's the first big one. Okay, the entrepreneurial risk excuse, and here it is. In every response, the company frames the losses as just a typical business risk, and that's what they do. They just push it aside, diminish it, act like it's no big deal, and encourage you to keep reinvesting with them so they can move forward. Okay? They avoid responsibility by saying things like, not every product succeeds, or the oh yeah, that's one I got. The market conditions shifted. They're always saying how the market conditions shifted, but without any explanation, without even taking that in consideration when they take your money and they buy shit with it. It's important. Meanwhile, the failures described are systematic, not normal business risk. Multiple clients are reporting the exact same type of collapse. So there it is, guys. I'm telling you, how many of you have gotten that bullshit from Irwin or Donnie or both? They lean on legal PR language to normalize failure and avoid refund obligations. That's what they do. It's just round talk. They're master manipulators. They just spin it. It's basically, you ever listen to Democrats, and this isn't to getting political. You'll ever listen to Democrats try to justify their position or argue a position, or when they're pushed with actually, hey, what you're saying kind of doesn't make sense. Can you like think of something and actually answer the question? It reminds me of what Democrats do, and we all know. I'm not going to get into that. All right. But yeah, they just, skirt the issue. They fail to answer questions. These guys, Ecom Partnerships, mainly it's Irwin and Donnie, and they use ChatGPT and they run it all through. And then they just basically encourage you to just, you know what, this is just goes with business. This is part of it all. And give me more money. We can move forward. That's all they want to do because that's part of the game. That's part of the game. They just want you to continue putting money into this fraudulent system. That's my opinion. I can see it. That's what happens. And other people are mirroring this exact same scenario. So let's go on to number 3. No refunds, only credits or relaunches. Boy, that's what they did to me until I said, fuck you, no more. And then I basically kicked them out of my seller account, and you guys can use your imagination what happened from there. But the consistent thread here, clients are asking for refunds, and Ecomm Partnerships refuses. Big surprise. Even I had an ironclad amendment clause. It was a third strike clause. They breached the clause. I went over this with my legal team. I had everybody analyze it. Yeah, they're in the wrong here, but it just has you have to just get to a point where if you see if the risk taking them to court and all the expenses outweigh what you would get in return. That's what you all have to really try to figure out. But yeah, they never will give you refunds. I'm not aware of any client that ever got a refund, even though the clause is in there. And if you press them on it, they'll just kick you out of the Moxel chat and ignore you and say you breached the clause. They're master manipulators. They always reframe it. They spin it. They're like literally lawyers, because this is what lawyers do, even though these guys aren't smart enough. They're just dumb. Because liars and cheaters and stealers and thieves like these guys, in my opinion, I think they are. That's what they do. Lawyers are trained to do that tactic just so they win the case. But there it is. Instead, they offer credits. They never, yeah, often never honored or suggest relaunching a new campaign. It's always just pushing the chaos and the failure forward, because you know why? You're stupid enough to give them money, and every time you just believe them and you believe them, and it keeps rolling it forward. And clients specifically say, I want out. But the company insists we're committed to relaunching. See, that's another thing. That is inherent what they do to, like I just said, to push forward their fraudulent agenda, because I think it's knowingly and I think it's malicious. Okay, so this mirrors me. My chats mirror that I had with Donnie and Irwin, which are fucking saved. Donnie and Irwin, you guys think you did something funny and cute by kicking me off of Moxo. Meanwhile, everything's screenshotted. I knew you guys would eventually do that, and I warned them not to do that. They did it anyway. But I knew that would happen. So always, guys, make copies of those chats and what the communication is on Moxo, because they will, if they're backed into a corner and you press them and they don't like you, what you have to say, they'll just lock you out and run away with they'll just basically take off with your money. Okay? It's all stalling. It's just recycling the fraud. It's recycling of the fraud, in my view, in my opinion, from my experience. Okay, so what is really the takeaway here? Uh, It's not customer service. It's a trap to keep people spending more, even when they want to cut ties. So that they just ignore your, oh, I want a refund. You guys breached the clause. They're like, no, we didn't. No, we didn't. Just keep giving us more money. We're going to do better next time. It's a trap. They're recycling the rat, the hamster wheel, and it's a broken wheel, and it's never going to work. It's designed that way. Okay, guys. So the supplier fraud angle, at least one of these complaints mirrors me. And that's important because all you need is one person to validate and have your same situation, and it backs up what your complaint is. So if you take this in front of a judge, if you take this in front of an FTC investigator, the FBI, I mean, this is why I'm telling you guys, file your reports. This paper trail, one person happens, two-person happens, 10 people it happens to, 20, 40, 50. You see the validity of that? That's the critical angle here. Multiple people have to experience the same type of fraud from these guys. And that's what I'm encouraging you guys to do. I'm not encouraging you to make up anything other than tell the truth, tell your situation. And if there's any investigator, such as the FTC, for example, or a shrewd lawyer, or any type of class action, they'll pick it up. They'll all piece this together. You don't even have to sell it. I'm making this video for you guys to encourage you to file your complaints. Use my Excel spreadsheet. Okay? It's in the link. Download it. You have no excuse. And like I keep saying, if you don't push back or you don't want to fight with these guys or you don't want to hold them accountable, I got no fucking sympathy for you. You deserve every bit of it you get because you're stupid. Okay? So don't come bitching to me. Don't come emailing me about, well, what should I do? What should I do? Fuck you. I'm giving you the answer here. All right? If you don't want to do it, then don't do it, but don't bitch to me. My view is you deserve to get taken then. If you don't want to fight back when somebody fights with you, starts to fight, steals from you, commits fraud on you. Okay, so the company customers detail how Ecomm claimed the supplier took their money without delivering, then positions themselves as the middleman with no liability. Yeah, of course, that's how this whole thing is framed. This whole Amazon automation scam by multiple organizations, and Ecomm is just another stupid little nothing player in that game that we've decided to partner up with, which was clearly a mistake. So now we got to correct the mistake. So what's the takeaway? The company hides behind third-party suppliers as a shield, whether those suppliers exist or not. And I that's the last thing I'm going to say. The client is always the loser. The Ecomm keeps the cash. If you're dumb enough to wire them cash. Okay, we talked about that credit card angle. Always put stuff on the credit cards. I am going to do a video on that. Okay, but my thing is, I don't even think these suppliers, these supposed flyers, and again, this is my opinion because I can't verify it, but it all leads me to believe that these suppliers were not even fraudulent. They didn't even exist. I think this is done on purpose by Ecomm Partnerships just to steal money out of your pocket, then give you this cockamamie excuse that, oh, that we went with a bad supplier. They ran, here's the phony FBI report and everything. I'm directly accusing them of that. Okay, but I don't know. I don't know. All evidence points to that. And that's what they do. And they just want to just basically say, oh, this is just a one-off. Keep giving us more money. Let's move forward. Even though you're like, wow, now I should sever ties with this fucking company. And you openly send them a demand letter and say, we're ending the contract. And then they're like, no, we're committed to moving forward. Almost like they didn't fucking hear you, because that's the design. It's pure fraud. And it's done on purpose, and they have malicious intent. That's why this whole thing was put together. Okay, that's why they don't provide invoicing. That's why they don't provide any of this crap. So the Better Business Bureau has a pattern. They discovered patterns of stonewalling. They consistently mention slow replies, vague answers, or weeks of silence, and that mirrors me. That's all it was. That's all it was. When they finally respond, it's a generic copy paste. We're working to relaunch, or we've taken your concerns seriously. Yeah, I got that. You guys heard that final call that I had with Donnie and Irwin, and you just basically, that mirrors what they said. Oh, yeah, we're going to take your concerns seriously, and we're going to come up and we're going to let you know via email, and we probably shouldn't have any more uh, these meetings because they're kind of going to be pointless. So then they basically give you some generic email response weeks later. And then they're basically it's like they're in a race, they're in one of their Lamborghinis driving the opposite way off into the sunset with your cash that they basically fucking stole from you. My opinion, right? So silence and vague responses are not accidents, they're tactics. Yes. These Better Business Bureau complaints read like copy and paste versions of my own experience, meaning me. They are not one-offs. The pattern is cynical and it's crystal clear. The products never delivered or were blocked. No refunds ever, just fake credits or promises of a relaunch. And sometimes they aren't fake, they actually give you credits. Okay. Excuses dressed up as entrepreneurial risk. Yeah, yeah. Victims clearly state, I want out, but Ecomm ignores it and pressures them to stay. And that is, I just talked about that. I just talked about that. So, and when suppliers supposedly steal money, Ecomm shrugs it off, but never makes clients whole. Yeah, you know what the funny part is? And I'm going to end with this. One thing I did notice about this, if a company like Ecomm Partnership, millions of dollars, uh, buying a lot of wholesale products from multiple clients, right? And I spoke to Irwin on this and I told him, look, give me my invoicing. I want to see what I've been spending. Then he gives me all this bullshit like, oh, you're just one of many clients. We do massive ordering. We're talking about high dollar amounts. It's impossible for us to invoice each individual client because the amount of work that it would take. Those were his exact words. They don't have that invoicing capability when you ask them to break down your invoicing because they don't have it set up. They never bought enterprise software, and that software by companies that handle hundreds of clients and are dealing with millions of dollars, you need that type of software. And that software costs that could be a couple $100,000 to invest in your infrastructure software like that. So I know they don't have it, and I called them out on it. Of course, crickets, no response to that. But that's what's going on. That's what's going on there. I'll share the one invoice that they gave me, or the one breakdown when I pressed them on many occasions. Hey, what is going on here? It was basically back in the beginning of the year when I pressed them to hey, I want to know what was bought and what my credits are and everything. And all Irwin did ran it through ChatGPT, and they sent me that as their official. Oh, here's our report. And all they did was just run it through ChatGPT. I'll share that. But they don't have any type of enterprise software. They don't have any invoicing capabilities. That's why when you guys ask for it, they can't give it to you because it doesn't exist. And right there, that's another pattern. That's clear cut. That's clear cut how somebody can basically skim the skim and steal money from you and hide actually business operations and where your money's going and what it's being spent on. So this is like I said, this is not a misunderstanding here. This is repeated business model of failure, stonewalling, in my opinion, trapping clients. So I hope this video is helpful. Again, go back on the check out the Better Business Bureau, press the Better Business Bureau on it, get your reviews up there, get your complaints, because that's the only way that this paper trail will have any weight or traction, whether it's moving forward with the FBI, FTC, your own legal channels, class action, and all this is just working. It's fighting back to get these guys shut down. And in my opinion, what I really would like, in my opinion, is to see Donny and Irwin go to jail. Okay? So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it.